I wanted to introduce you to the OU journalism alum who are working at our assigned sites. I think I mentioned that in the first week. So first of all, John Stoll. John has been at the Wall Street Journal for a number of years. And at one time, he was even the Nordic bureau chief and lived in Stockholm with his wife and 4 kids. Wow, he had some beautiful photos of those times. He writes a column called On Business, which focuses on working life during COVID. And here's an example about businesses who are diversifying in order to stay in business. Not surprisingly, a lot of his work is focused on businesses and people in Michigan because he lives right here in Rochester. And he has many, many times taught for our magazine writing and news writing courses. Here's a picture of him over here. He may look familiar. Next is Karen Workman, who is the deputy editor of the news desk of the New York Times. She supervises the team that guides the digital reporting in the evenings. So the digital front you see in the mornings is the result of that team's work. Karen is from Pontiac, and she moved to New York to work for another news organization that went out of business. Her reputation preceded her, though, and the New York Times quickly recruited her. She lives in Brooklyn and absolutely loves it. Sal Juan Georges is a photojournalist for the Washington Post. And Sal, who is an Iraqi immigrant, graduated from OU in 2013 and made a name for himself while he was still at the university by documenting the plight of Iraqi refugees living in Dearborn. I'm going to click on his Instagram account here so you can see some of his photography, which is absolutely stunning. This year, Sal was awarded a Pulitzer Prize as part of a staff entry from the Washington Post for a team who covered climate change. He was also a team finalist for a public service award for covering America's deadly opioid epidemics. Look at a few more. I think there's some photos from the George Floyd funeral here that are quite just absolutely stunning. So you can Google Sal and find his work all over the place, including, of course, in the pages of the Washington Post. Finally, I just want to do a really quick review of the websites just to make sure that you're getting the most use out of them and that you're able to access all the different sections because there's a lot of material here. This is the Washington Post, obviously. So there is the menu bar up here with sort of the trending topics that you can click through to, or you can go over here and click on the menu in the upper left and get selections to get you through to whatever stories you're looking for: arts and entertainment, climate and environment, the magazine, obituaries, which I love to read, and so forth. The Wall Street Journal is very similar. Obviously, all these sites you can scroll up and down, but if you just want to get to the section, again, here you go. Here is the menu up here with the different sections. Don't miss, especially in the Wall Street Journal and New York Times. Well, all of them have great magazines, but the Wall Street Journal magazine, a lot of times people overlook that. And there are some great pieces in that, and all the articles obviously are archived. New York Times, very similar. You can see a lot of similarities in the design and the interface of these 3 sites for the obvious reason that it works. Again, here's the menu. You can open it in the sidebar and click through to whatever section you want to visit. So I want you to get the most out of your subscriptions because these news orgs really provide a goldmine of examples of excellence for feature writing and for all types of journalism. And no, they are not perfect. They make mistakes. They make me crazy sometimes, but they are accountable and are, in my estimation, doing a credible job of documenting the first draft of history, which this year has been quite the chapter.